Day one of the Kettlebell Adventure series is here. These are a 3-day series of full body workouts, and all you need is one kettlebell. These can be very easily completed at home. If you don't have a kettlebell, I highly recommend that you get one to add to your home gym. The link is in the description below. These videos are going to help you build strength and stability that are going to help tremendously with your joint pain. My name's Alyssa and I'm a doctor of physical therapy, founder of Keep the Adventure Alive. I'm so glad you're here and I hope that you enjoy these next 3 videos.
Guys, so today you only need one kettlebell for this at-home workout. If you're not confident in your balance, you can have something to hang on to for support. I always like to have a wall just in case. This workout you can easily make harder or easier depending on the weight of the kettlebell. I'm going to be using a 15-pound kettlebell, but if you want to go up or down depending on your fitness level, that is totally up to you. Okay, what I want you to actually do is hang on to the kettlebell with both hands right out in front of you, and all you're going to do is step side to side. If you need to slow any of these movements down as we go, that is totally fine, or you can keep up with me. This is going to be a full body workout, arms and legs and a little bit of core. And speed it up if you can. You're gonna get that heart rate going as well. Okay, now I want you to take your kettlebell in your right hand and hang it here. I want you to avoid giving into the kettlebell. So stay up nice and tall. Keep your shoulders straight and in line. Hold it here and you're gonna march up with that left leg only. March up with that left leg only. And you should feel this in your core because the kettlebell wants to pull you to the side. So you're really trying to hold it up. The lighter the kettlebell, you may not feel it as much. 3, 2, and 1. Now you're gonna switch. Now it's in your left hand. Bring your shoulders nice and square and lift that right leg. Nice job. Keep your shoulders nice and square because you don't want to overcompensate either. If you do have a mirror in front of you, that really helps, but just try to feel and try to keep yourself as straight as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now what I want you to do is you're going to hang on to the kettlebell like in a goblet position. So I'm hanging on to the bell part with both hands. Okay, now what we're going to do here is all you're going to do is just come back into a squat and then stand up. Down into a squat and stand up. This should not cause knee pain. If it does, use a wall because I want you to bend your hips first. So notice how my hips are bending first. If you got the squats, just keep going and stand up. My hips are bending first, then my knees. It's not my knees bending first. And we're gonna stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now what we're gonna do is you're gonna hang onto the kettlebell in front of you. What you're gonna do is you're gonna come down to the ground, just into a deadlift. We're just gonna get warmed up a little bit. So you can just come to mid-shin. If you can, though, I want to challenge you to come all the way to the ground. You just might need to bend your knees a little bit more. And we're just gonna do 5 more here. We're just warming up those glutes. 3, stick your hips back. 2, and last one. Okay, now what we're gonna do, set the kettlebell on the ground. What we're going to start with is you're going to start with your right hand. You're going to pick up the kettlebell, pull it close to your body, and come underneath it. Bring it back down and switch, pull up, and then come underneath it. And we're just going to keep going just like that. So you're going to pick it up. This is called a kettlebell clean. If it is challenging for you to pick it up from the ground, grab an ottoman, grab a couch, set it down to a higher surface. If you're doing okay, I want you to continue. One of the biggest things is trying not to let it come smack down on your forearm. Stay nice and controlled when you do this. Nice and controlled. And we're just going to do 5 more. Still, you're sticking your hips back as you pick up the kettlebell, going side to side. And 1 more just to even it out. Okay, now take the kettlebell into that position that we were just in. So it's resting on your forearm and you're hanging onto it here. Elbow is pointed straight out. I want you to lift that elbow up a little bit. And now what I want you to do is we're just going to press. So you're just pressing overhead, straight up. If the kettlebell is too heavy for this, you can grab a lighter one, or feel free to just grab a dumbbell too. You're just pushing straight up. We're just going to do 2 more here. And then you're going to switch. I want you to switch to the other side. So you're going to put it right up on your forearm. So the bell part is resting on that forearm. And you're just going to press. Press straight overhead. Like I said, grab something lighter if you need to. But if you're doing okay, they should feel a little challenging. They shouldn't feel like you should be able to do 30. So they should be a little bit more challenging. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Okay. Now we're going to go into a kettlebell swing, but we're going to do a single arm kettlebell swing. Grab the kettlebell with your right hand. For a swing, it's all in the hips. So you're going to come through and squeeze forward. So it's all in the hips, and my arm is just guiding the kettlebell up. So what I want us to do, first I just want you to try, just in the right hand, 3 or 5, and I want you to really focus on your squeezing your hips as hard as you can. Again, if you need a wall, to come underneath and squeeze. Come underneath and squeeze so you don't do a leg movement. Now, if you have that, you're going to come underneath and you're going to switch hands. And what I like to do is when I come through, I hang on to one side of the kettlebell and then I grab it with the other hand and do it just like that. I do have a video that explains the kettlebell swing a little bit more in depth if you are having a little bit of trouble with the movement. It shouldn't hurt your back and it shouldn't hurt your knees. You're squeezing forward, all in the hips. Squeeze those hips as hard as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set your kettlebell down on the ground and have the handle parallel or perpendicular to you. Okay. Hop side to side. This is just strictly meant to keep your heart rate up. So we're just gonna stay for about 30 seconds here. If you need to, take it to that step. I would like to challenge you to see if you can get to that hop though. Just a quick heart rate elevator. 3, 2, and 1. Now we are going back to that exercise we started with in the beginning. Kettlebell in the right hand, lifting up that left leg. Keep your shoulders in line, heart rate should be elevated, and you're just lifting one leg. Really use that core to keep the kettlebell from pulling you sideways. 5, 4, 3, 2, and switch. Left hand, make sure you get nice and centered, and lift. You can hang on to something just to steady yourself if you need to. Ten more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now instead of doing a clean where we're pulling it up and coming up to our forearm, we're going to do a pull. So with this one, you're going to come down and pull the kettlebell up. Now this one is also a hip movement. So I'm going to actually grab if you're working out in your house, you can use a rug or something. So what I'll show you first. So when you pull that kettlebell up, you're squeezing your hips forward just like the kettlebell swing. So kettlebell's in front of you. We're going to start by picking it up with the right hand and pull it up. Use your hips. Pull it up. Again, you can go to a higher surface if you need to. You should feel a lot of tension in the backs of your legs when you come down. So put your weight in your heels and sit yourself back. Try not to come forward. Sit yourself back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay. Move this out of the way here. Whew, heart rate should be elevated. Hang on to the kettlebell again with that goblet squat position. Keep it here. Keep your chest up. The kettlebell's going to want to pull you forward, especially if you have a heavier one. Stay up nice and tall, and all you're doing is taking quick steps, but this is going to start to challenge your core after a while. If you feel it in your low back, make sure you're up nice and tall, and you can even try to tuck your hips underneath because that's really going to help. You might feel kind of awkward, but trust me, it helps. Tuck your hips underneath. And then if you can, you might need to hold the kettlebell out just a little bit in front of you. We have 20 more seconds here. Or keep it low, whatever speed you're comfortable with. Keep that core nice and tight though. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Now while we're here, we're going to do another set of those squats where you sit back and stand up. Sit back. Go as low as you feel comfortable. The idea is to get down to parallel, but if you just want to go here, that is okay too. Really focus on your core here because it's a little bit fatigued. So if you start to feel it in your low back, really use your hips to push yourself up, push through your heels. And we have 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Let's go back to just those lateral hops. Slower as fast as you can. And we're just going for 10 seconds here, just another quick one. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now we're gonna do one more exercise, and this is more of a balance exercise that I always like to put at the end. So, kettlebells in your right hand. Now, what we're going to do is you're going to put one foot in front of the other, just in a lunge position. Make sure you're stable here. You should be pretty stable just because your feet are wider. Now, come down just into a little bit of that lunge position, like someone's pushing you straight down, so we're not going forward. And you're gonna pass back and forth. If it is too hard to go under your leg, just go over your leg. But I want to challenge you to see if you can get it underneath. It's going to put some pressure on the front leg, so make sure you're bending that back one to take some of that pressure off. But it's just a lunge and a pass, but it's a small lunge. One thing to watch out for is making sure your back foot stays straight. If it comes way out like this, that can put some unneeded stress on the back leg. Keep your toe forward. 3, 2, and now let's switch. Make sure that back leg stays straight, that toe stays pointed straight. Someone's pushing you straight down again, and you're passing underneath. Bend that back knee as you go down each time, or you can pass over that knee. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set your kettlebell down to the side. Okay, now what I want you to do is we're going to start to slow it down. So I want you to take those big leg circles. You can tap down in between. And switch. Big leg circle. Okay, now you're just going to kick straight back. Notice I'm not leaning forward too much. I want you to really activate those glutes. Push back, push back. Okay, now for this one you may need a wall to hang on to, but I want you to try to pull your ankle just as close as you can. And try to point your knee straight down so you feel a stretch in the front of your thigh right there. If you have a couch and you have problems with this, you can just put your foot up on the couch and then try to push your knee straight down. You'll feel a very similar stretch, because I know that this is not possible for a lot of people, and that's okay. And now you're going to switch, so try to grab that foot and just pull it as close as you can, and then try to push that knee straight down to the floor. Stand up tall. you can drop it. Now I just want you to try to kick your bottom, alternating legs. Just try to get your heel as high as you can, comfortably. And for this one, if you need to hang on, you can as well. And I want you to try to tuck your hips underneath. So try to squeeze your glutes as you do this. It'll keep your back in a better position instead of trying to arch. Three, two, and one. All right, guys, if you love this video, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. If you completed it, which movements were your favorite? Definitely let me know in the comments below. Stay tuned for more of the kettlebell workout series, at-home kettlebell exercises that are going to give you strength, give you stability, and help you keep your adventure alive. Thanks for watching.